Okay, so good morning, guys. Let's start. As Alexander already said, my name is Eugene Nezhuta, and I'm a software engineer at EPAM. So, and today I want to share a bit of, experience that we get in EPAM working on an interesting project. And also I want to talk about JavaScript in general, and JavaScript in IoT, which is Internet of Things, which is really becomes popular these days. But first, let's see what do we have. By the way, this is what we did. Cool? The Internet of Things. I'm kidding, of course, it's not the device. But anyway, so what do we have in JavaScript these days? JavaScript is very powerful these days. JavaScript has many modules. It has a powerful infrastructure. This language is all over the world, and we use it everywhere. And this is cool, and in the same time, this is a bit annoying for some people, because if you come to JavaScript, you get this, like, oh my God, what should I do if I want to create something? And it's very easy to get lost in the amount of tools that is over there that you can just take and use, and you don't understand what you can grab and use to solve your issue, solve your problem. Remember this article that was published recently? I think you guys all read it already, about these two developers. Of course, this article is a bit exaggerated, but two developers, one is a dumb as a stick, he's trying to create some easy application where he tried to click a button and show some label. And he asked advices to another developer who is super senior in JavaScript, and he's starting, giving him an advice like, no, you don't need a jQuery. Are you fool? You just take a React, take everything around the React, use Bubble, use Schmubble, Webpack. Oh, and the first guy just go nuts because, of course, who wants to take everything just to create a button? And exactly that makes the people to be like this. They started to hate JavaScript. They say, JavaScript is every freaking where, and you pull it, you push it in the backend, client side, mobile. Get out of here. But let's look at a different angle on this situation. What if I tell you, and you know it already, you have a JavaScript to rule all of the things around you, to rule client side, server side, mobile, desktop, and, which is really important for this talk, Internet of Things. But let's step back a bit and let's understand what is Internet of Things, why to bother actually, why it's important. So the idea of Internet of Things is pretty simple. Internet of Things, it's smart devices that are connected to each other and to the internet. Not always to each other, and to the internet. The smart devices has some modules in it, some sensors that can collect information and send it somewhere. So you can grab this information, somehow parse it, with some logic, and tell device what to do next. It's pretty simple, and we have it everywhere here already. It's a future that is already here. You have smart weights, when you step, it sends your weight to the internet or on Twitter. Some fridge that can order some products for you, everything. So that's why it's important, because it's future, guys. It's really where we should go, So, with that said, in EPAM, we have the kind of initiative called EPAM Garage. It's a group of people who are interested in some cool stuff, and want to create some unusual things and try things, actually. So here in EPAM Garage, we think about it. Let's take this JavaScript. Let's take this wonderful language. Let's take this language infrastructure and make something cool, maybe something useful, something that has value, So this was a prerequisite for our solution. Something that has a value, that you can show and be proud of. Something that is useful. Something from the future. I mean, something that you don't use like backbone, Something that use some latest stuff, cutting-edge technologies. And also, we decided to be kind of, to make things a bit difficult. We decided to do it as a startup, So it means we don't have to be expensive, and we want something to be developed quickly. So this is parts from our solution was built. So first of all, it was electronic device because we want an IoT, web application, so mobile application, and we need to be cheap because startup mode is on. We don't want to spend money on any infrastructure, so that's why. And we want to show that JavaScript could handle everything. You have to have a JavaScript and be passionate about what you are doing. So, so what field do we want to cover? Some in EPAM, the last not days, but months, years, we try to focus a bit on something interesting. And one of these interesting topics, and one of these interested fields, is the healthcare. Healthcare is a really interesting field because it's a lot of things that you can automate there, and actually it's cool. You can help a lot of people to make life easier, and that's why our idea was simple but interesting. I think it was a pill dispenser. This pill dispenser, and I actually have a device with me here. But unfortunately, I can do a demo to you today, the real life, but I have a video of the demo. So this thing is a called pill dispenser. Actually, this is a smart device. Say hi to guys. It's not that smart, But anyway, this smart device could do few things. It can dispense pills in a cup. Here we place a cup, and this guy will, pull these pills in your cup, so you can take your medicine at the right time, which is dispense pills according to the treatment schedule. So the idea was there is a treatment schedule that was set up by your doctor, and this device knows about this schedule, and automatically will just, push your pills in the cup and notifies you that you should take your pills. Also, this guy can notify your important people, maybe relatives or whoever you want, about some problems. For example, if you didn't take your pills, or if it's a prototype, it has a SOS button, emergency button, but I think it could be bigger, somewhere where to get easy to reach it. But anyway, if you click this button, this guy will notify your doctor, it calls him, and also it sends messages to your relatives again, and saying that you need help, and they can react. Well, that's cool, right? I think. But anyway, this, of course, he can't do it itself by its own. He needs an infrastructure for that. So we don't want, as I said, we're on a startup mode. We don't want, this. We need a server. We need an API. What else? We need a database to save some schedules. We need the web interface to interact it, and we need to serve it from somewhere. We need to monitor the service if we want to handle it by our own. We need to monitor, provision the service. It's pretty not cool. We don't want to do that. And here comes the superhero, the Amazon services. Amazon services, I think most of you worked with them. Amazon services provide a bunch of some cool stuff that I don't know the issue, the task that you can't solve with this Amazon services. So, and here starts the cloud part of our story. we analyzed Amazon services, and we saw that we have everything that we need to solve all our issues, our tasks, our cases. And first, and the most biggest thing that we used from Amazon is Amazon IoT. Amazon IoT, it's a cloud solution from Amazon, which consists from a few parts. First of all, it's Amazon SDK, IoT SDK that you download, and it's JavaScript. The first thing that I said, we want JavaScript everywhere, no other languages. So, okay, SDK used JavaScript. Then the Amazon in the IoT in the cloud has this kind of structure. So there is a device. Actually, it has a device gateway that you can contact with your device via MQTT protocol or HTTPS. MQTT protocol is a special protocol over HTTPS. Or you can contact via HTTPS directly. It has two more cool things. One of them is a device shadows. It's actually the cloud image of your device that keeps its state every time when you have an internet connection. So imagine if you operate with your device via a web interface, like a doctor creates your schedule, and this device just disconnected. So the state will not disappear. It will be recorded to the device shadow, and when this guy will go back online, it will be synchronized, and this guy will have a latest schedule or whatever you set it up. So pretty cool, and it will help you do not lose the data. And other thing, this IoT cloud solution is connected to all Amazon services because of the rule engine. And the rule engine is the second cool thing that Amazon has. The rule engine converts actually device messages to trigger Amazon services. It can be anything, databases, notification services, whatever, all the things that Amazon has. So, pretty cool. We just was so excited about it. Then we decided, okay, we have an IoT, but we need some server logic, where something that will work with database, something that will handle requests from a doctor, from a device, from whatever. And we decided to do some interesting stuff. We use Amazon Lambda service. If you guys didn't face with it, it didn't work with it, I will explain a bit what is it. Amazon Lambda service, it's this kind of service where you can write a function, let's say simple function. This function, the code, will be executed on some triggers that you will create. So if some event will happen, Amazon will execute this function, and Amazon will the function that you will tell him to execute, and also after that you can trigger anything and pull any Amazon service. So that's exactly what we need. We decided to make Lambdas act as microservices, and this is our backend. This is our server logic. We go backendless with the Lambda. So cool. Of course, Lambda was written in JavaScript. The benefit of it, no provisioning or managing servers. We don't want to keep this infrastructure. We just gave it to Amazon. And zero administration. You go to the web interface, put your code, you code it somewhere else in nice and comfortable IDE, and then you push it or deploy it on Amazon. There is tools for that with SDK anyway. Or you just go through the interface. And this is a pretty cool. So that's how we cover the server part, the IoT part, and then we need a database and something that like API. We don't want to do it too, or we don't want to host it too. So we use the DynamoDB. DynamoDB is another one Amazon services. It is database. It's a document or key value storage. It can do a bunch of things, very powerful, and also it can interact with all other services from Amazon. And also Amazon has an API gateway, which is really API gateway. You describe your, some endpoints, and you can interact with it, and you can tell it what it should be triggered. So actually, when we got this, it's a bit complex, but I will explain in a few words. So here you can see. Does this thing work? No. Laser. Hey, cool. Where we are? API gateway. So here, desktop with the doctor's application, web application, and here is a mobile, and here's the device. So these two guys talks to this API gateway. API gateway depends on which endpoint was triggered, pulls any of some of this lambda, lambda executes, and it can receive data, of course, and do whatever it should to do, like saving some treatment or edit profile, register. Sorry, register a device and save it to the DynamoDB. Also, there is a we use some more services, kind of CloudWatch for some statistic and logs. We use CloudFront with CDN. We use some S3 to host our application, web application, single page. And we use the Cognito service to authorize device within Amazon IoT. So so here you can see this device shadow connects to the rule engine, and the rule engine here using the SNS service, it's another one Amazon service which is sending notifications, sends this notification SMS or mail or whatever to your relatives, to persons like you set up. Send the SDK with JavaScript. The next one, the software part, it will be the short part, because I don't want to go in details here, because the web app was written in JavaScript, of course, and it was Angular 2. But you guys can use whatever you like, That's the beauty of JavaScript. Here on the web side, we decided to do JavaScript, to do Angular 2, because we like this framework. People who like React can do it on React. I mean, you can write that's another beauty of JavaScript. You can write the parts of your global solutions that use JavaScript. You can write parts of them on the framework or use a tool you prefer, and everything will work perfectly together at the end. Same thing with the mobile app. We use the React Native, but again, just for science. Of course, maybe the right solution will be to use a native script, yes, with Angular 2, because we use Angular 2 on the web app, but we don't care because we want to experiment. And the hardware part. First of all, this box was printed. We printed on the 3D printer. It's a startup version because it's a prototype. It's a low quality print. That's why it has some, this kind of sharpness here and other stuff. It could be done better again, but we on a startup mode. We need a prototype. Let's say we need to bring a customer or investor the ready solution, and we get money. Will be cool. So we just can. Hey, we have everything working. We can demonstrate and etc. This is the parts of the box of this device. The box itself, as a board, we use an Arduino. We use an LCD, of course. Here's a container for pills. Like, I don't know, you guys, yeah. Ooh, sorry. I will be killed by my friends. Anyway, didn't break it, so it's okay. Inside of this thing is a container for pills, which uses a stepper engine, to move. It's a stepper engine that moved by this Arduino with the code that we wrote. It moved this box, and this box has sections. And each section is loaded with pills by of course, the responsible and educated person, by your friends. So it's just, you know, moves, and then, yeah, you got your pills in the cup. The software of our hardware part. Arduino, we modified it a bit, but not, of course, not the board itself. We modified the firmware, the firmata, just because it has some problems with the stepper engine. You know, the version of firmata that was brought with Arduino didn't work with our stepper engine, so we just patched it a bit. Node.js, of course, and this guy, it's a guy who called himself Johnny 5. Johnny 5, it's a framework for IoT. It's, by the way, it's a really interesting thing, because if you Google, for example, frameworks for IoT or something like that, you will have, of course you will find something, but there are not much players over there. And most of things that you will find is just some no names, you know, and whatever. You won't use it. It's some guy who created it on his, you know, his knees and then just push it online. But this guy is driven by the community, big community, and you will get an answer if you have problems. You will get an answer in, you know, in a minute or something like that. Also, this guy supports a lot of boards. It's not only for Arduino. It has Tessels, has whatever Arduino compatible stuff. It's about 50 boards or 40 boards that it supports and supported well. And the code written in Johnny 5 is pretty easy. It's just like a piece of code that you, I don't know, maybe it's not really good to look from the, you know, behind. But anyway, this how some small pieces how you can work with this code, with this Johnny 5. You have a board, then when your board ready, you go and do some cool stuff. Like the Johnny 5 already has a stepper module that you can that can work with your stepper engine. So you don't need to invent anything. You just use it, configure it a bit, and then move it, you know, with one easy thing. Step with a, you know, the value where in degrees. If I don't, oh no, it's not. I forgot about what this is. I mean, it's not a degrees. I don't remember the units of it. But anyway, and it can, you know, as a callback, you can just log something in the console for developer mode, or, you know, just for fun. The same. Oh, sorry. The same for the LCD stuff. It has a built-in LCD module that you can just use and print something like this with one small command, and you will get it an LCD. Okay,
and we have first question.
How much time did it take you to fully understand the infrastructure of Amazon? Because it seems like a pretty complex thing. And what is the pricing? And do they have like some, for example, testing playground to try it?
Yes. First question was how much time we spent understanding the Amazon services structure. Well, it was not much time really. I mean, because almost all of the engineers who work on this thing, they had an experience in Amazon. But for example, we didn't have much experience in Amazon IoT, so you can. So we will need to discover it, but we didn't spend much time. I don't know. We didn't measure it, but the whole thing, from starting the project to the ready device, it was in 8 weeks. So it's how many? It's 2 months, right? About 2 months. And the second question was, oh yes, one cool thing about Amazon, they have free stuff. If you register first time, as I remember, they will give you a year of free. They have an instances like micro, medium, large, you know, and of course it differs by the resources. So they will give you a year, as I remember, of the minimum, you know, stuff like micro instances in each service. pretty okay to do things like this. Is if you don't need to handle many connections, so work with the big data. Well, then you cool. That's it. Oh, there. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the question. It's a good question. Actually, there are many cases that you can improve here. And really, it gives you, the current situation gives you really, freedom. You can integrate to this thing whatever you want. Even make this thing understand voice and talk back, to you, doing some friendly, I don't know, hints. What about the Amazon? Not Amazon, sorry, what Microsoft Azure did you ask? We looked at the Microsoft Cloud IoT services, but we decided to fully go to the Amazon because Microsoft didn't have shadows. They implemented the device shadows already, as I remember, but they implemented them recently, and Amazon has these device shadows since the beginning of IoT. Same thing with the Google Cloud platform. They didn't have shadows for a while, but they do now. But Amazon is still better,
Okay, Eugene, can you tell us why you choose the device the board, this kind of board? Why don't you choose another one? Or there are a lot of boards.
Yeah, that's true. We choose the. Okay, the question is why we choose this board, the Arduino. We choose the Arduino Uno. Yeah, because it's cheap. It's cheap and it has everything we need. As you remember, I said in the beginning, we were at startup mode. We need to be cheap. I mean, not cheap. Cheap in the meaning we don't need to spend a lot of money on stuff. We need to save money because if we are startup, we don't earn money or we don't earn a lot. So we need to be really pragmatic here. So we decided to take this board because it fits all our needs and it's cheap. That's it.
By the way, I know the option. Maybe we can turn on speakers on your MacBook.
It's you see.
Okay.
So my question is Node.js actually working at the Arduino board?
No, it's in prototype. Node.js works with Johnny 5 on a host machine connected to this guy with a cable, and this and acts as a thin client between the board and sending just I/O instructions to the firmata inside an Arduino.
So, in the future, you plan to have some controlling device, or
yeah, it's in plans. We didn't make a specific decision, but of course we need to have some controller over there. I mean, some small device that will, just make it really portable. But for the prototype, just for investors, kind of thing. Thanks.
Other questions? More questions? Okay, I think you can reach Eugene directly, and I think that anyway we can show this video for all of those who are interested in this. Well, we have time for it, so please just come and we'll see it. And yeah, thank you. It was really interesting.
Thank you.